Welcome back to the Scorching Hot Takes podcast. We are back today with an album cover tier list. I think we're just going to literally get straight into the ranking.
Got nothing else to add. Kick us off. What's our first one? What we doing?
First one, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon.
Well, I'll say this is one of my personal favourites of all time. I think this is one of the best album covers of all time. I think it has to go in the perfect.
I completely agree with you.
Good.
Simple,
I thought you were going to
effective, plays into the album. You couldn't really ask for more.
I thought you were going to mess me about a bit on that one and like try and play devil's advocate or something. Yeah, move on.
Different direction here. David Bowie, Diamond Dogs. I'll let you talk about this first, and then I'll say.
I'm a bit torn on this one. I don't love it, and I don't hate it. I don't know. What would you say?
I like the image itself. I just think the art style, there's something about it that's really like uncanny and off-putting, and I find it a bit weird.
Yeah.
And it kind of ruins it for me. And considering I feel like Bowie's standard of album cover is so high, this is definitely one of his weakest.
That's what I was going to say. It's not even like top 5 album covers for him. In fact, it's probably like more likely to be bottom 5. In fact, yeah, that's
for me
without question. In fact,
for me, this is in the mid category.
I'm not mad about that.
Okay,
like that's fine. I was maybe going to say like okay, but yeah,
because that's a bit of a controversial one because it is iconic, but I just don't think it's.
But
very
I don't think we're judging the quality here, and obviously it's album covers, so it's a bit more of a loose episode today. But I think mid is fair enough.
Yeah. Next, Sex Pistols, Never Mind the Bollocks.
See, I'm not like this is so iconic.
Yeah.
But as an actual fan of the album cover, I think it is really good. I just don't think it suits the music that much.
I completely disagree. I think if this is what I hear kind of jagged edges and kind of a bit of a careless font, and I hear that bright neon yellow and pink because of the silliness, the rebellious. I feel like it makes sense.
For me, I feel like it would be a bit more like maybe a darker, maybe a black and white, or like even a red for like the anger and frustration that's going into it. I understand where you're coming from, and which is why I'd still maybe go Amazing with it, especially for how iconic it is.
Yeah.
I just think there is something holding it back.
I know what you're saying. And like in terms of contemporaries, that kind of black, white and red thing was like is like a bit of a staple for that kind of sound a lot of the time. Like the Clash White Riot.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, exactly. Something
However,
like that.
I feel like when I think of that colour scheme, I do think of that grit and that darkness and that grunge, but I don't think this is I think it's too silly of an album. It's not to be taken seriously. Whereas black is like having a colour scheme like that with the black, white and red, or just black and white or whatever it may be, kind of demands you to take it very seriously. Whereas I feel like being neon yellow just makes so much sense of how rebellious the album is in my head.
That's fair enough. Which is why I go Amazing. I just don't think
I'm happy for it to be Amazing.
I don't think it's on the same level as the Dark Side of the Moon for me.
Next, Get Rich or Die Trying.
What a contrast.
Now, I'm going to speak first on this.
Go on.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's very predictable.
Yeah.
And I feel like at the time, being topless and having like smashed glass in front of you would have been like, oh yeah, that's hard. But I feel like, because it's like looking back, I feel like it's a bit corny.
Yeah.
It's like so cliche.
I know, and that's why I'd maybe say it's okay, because I think it is like, it's an iconic cover, and I do think it matches that vibe. Like, it's that braggadocious sort of club energy that you get from like 50 Cent and him being slap bang on the album cover. I think it's not mid. Like, I prefer it to Diamond Dogs, but it isn't mind-blowing either, because it is just him on the cover, and maybe it has aged a bit poorly, so I can go okay with that one.
Yeah. Now for me, this is a hard album cover done correctly. Straight Outta Compton.
This is the better album cover for these two hip hop ones. Yeah,
I think Amazing. I don't think it's quite perfect. If I had to nitpick a little bit,
completely.
I think the photo's cool, the layout's cool. If I had to nitpick a little bit, I feel like maybe the fonts, just the graphic design elements of it, kind of. I feel like it's not as refined as it could be.
For me, the font is similar to like a Sex Pistols. Like, it's not maybe necessarily my favourite font, but it kind of makes sense for the vibe.
See, I do. I feel like it's a bit too soft-edged. I feel like it needs to be a bit more like a Wu-Tang or a Public Enemy font. That makes more sense.
That's true. I think maybe I'm a little bit sort of caught in the iconic factor around it. Maybe. So, yeah, fair.
Amazing.
And also, it's just not quite that Dark Side of the Moon level. Like, it's not a perfect
Amazing,
cover, so
not
Amazing.
Perfect. Yeah. Next, coming recent now.
Recent. Pause on that one.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, Phantom Island.
All right, I'll speak my piece about this one because the reason this is in here in the first place is this so far, at the time of the recording, is one of my contenders for Album of the Year. However, it's not on about the music today, it's all about the cover. But I will give you a bit of an insight. All of their albums are played into this cover, which I think does give it a little bit of a sort of cool Easter egg factor that for all the King Giz fans.
Yeah.
So there's that element that I really like about it. However, it's just not my favourite cover of all time. It's not my favourite of theirs, but it's definitely not their worst.
I like the concept behind it. However, I'm really not a fan of a maximal album cover.
Yeah,
I'm much more of a simple and effective. I feel like there's too much going on. It's not very memorable.
But it is like typical King Giz style with that like maximalist sort of style that you're referencing.
For me, I'd probably put it in.
I'd go great for me on this one.
Oh, see, I'd be a lot lower than that. Mid or bad for me.
Do we have to meet it okay in the middle then?
Yeah, we can do. I feel like
what have we got in okay so far?
Just that and Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah, see, I think it's on the same level as that.
I'd probably put it. I think I'd put it in bad.
Bad? Yeah. It's not a bad cover.
I think it is. I think
it's not a bad cover.
I think it's just completely overdone to the point where.
No, but I don't think it can be bad because bad to me would mean that there's like no thought or anything like going into it, and it just have to be absolute.
See, that's what gives it some bonus points. I just think the execution could have been done a lot better.
I agree, but it is typical King Giz, so I don't know. I kind of
next we'll do Fontaine's DC Romance.
I mean, it's a love heart for an album called Romance.
I think it's there's. I don't actually think it's as good as their other album covers. However, it's still they do have like a very simple and effective style most of the time. It's quite artistic. I think there's something about the colours. The blue background, the pink heart, and the green font. There's just something that doesn't quite sit right with me.
I was going to say, I feel like it's quite nice on the eyes. Like the blue and the pink in particular, I think it's like a nice contrast. But with that being said, it's not blowing me out the park. It's forgettable.
I think it's probably. I feel like for me, it's better than Phantom Island and Get Rich or Die Trying. So for me, it's great.
Oh, it's not a great cover. I was going to say mid. So then we're going to have to meet.
There's no way you think that Get Rich or Die Trying is a better album cover than Romance.
100%. 100%. Well, Get Rich or Die Trying.
We're meeting in the middle.
We're going okay. Like for me, Get Rich or Die Trying is like so iconic and it speaks to that of the time, whereas Romance could be just anything. It could be anyone.
Okay, yeah.
And can we agree as well? Romance is Fontaine's worst cover.
Yes.
Okay,
close with Skinty Fear, but I feel like
Skinty Fear, I love that.
But see, I like the reason that it gets better. I don't like the design as much, but I like the colour scheme more. If you'd swapped them round,
the Skinty Fear, I love the red.
I don't like. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I like the colour scheme, but I don't like the design. I don't like the deer. I mean, it plays into the album and everything, but I don't know. There's just I don't like it.
I feel like Skinty Fear could age to be iconic.
Heroes Death's their best album cover in my opinion, and their best album.
Nah, Dogrow's the best cover for me.
That's my number 2. Anyway, next on the topic of great album covers, DJ Khaled, God did.
Shout out to DJ Khaled. Love him as a person, but his album covers, this is going in the bad.
I kind of like it.
No, because the only reason you do this is it's DJ Khaled.
Yeah, you're probably right, actually.
He's
at least it's a high quality picture.
Yeah, he's looking pristine in it. Like I said, shout out to Khaled, but his album covers.
He's not watching this. He's not watching this.
Yeah, no, but I want everyone else to know that I love the man.
Okay, next. Brat. Charlie XCX.
Simple but effective. I don't hate it, but I think it's a great cover.
I think this is amazing. I think the ability to be so simple, but I think what plays into it a bit as well is the marketing and making it like it's even now, and it's been a long while. How long has it been?
Well, it came out just before, I think it was just before summer.
It's over a year.
Last year.
Yeah.
It's over a year now.
But still, that font and that design and everything is still everywhere. It's become iconic already.
Fair. Yeah, I can go to amazing.
I think this is amazing. It genuinely could reach perfect if it continues to build its
iconicness. I don't think it can be perfect, but that's just personal preference.
Next one, Forever How Long, Black Country New Road. For me, bad.
No, it's not a bad cover.
No,
it's not on the same level as God did. It's not on the same level as God did. It's better. You could go mid, but I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that bad.
I still think it suits it. I feel like it's too
That's what I'd say.
It's too silly.
I think it can go. It could go in mid.
Okay, yeah.
It's not God did. It is absolutely not on the same level as that.
Okay, yeah, but God
It's
did,
not DJ Khaled looking like
God did maybe. God did is genuinely perfect and terrible at the same time, so we're just going to have to
but only because it's DJ Khaled. We have to judge the art going on here.
Next, Norman fucking Rockwell, Lana Del Rey.
Well, a little thing that I wanted to bring this in because viewers, don't you think that Max is on that album cover?
You'd have to see. It's not with my hair anymore, but
we'd have to pull another photo
back in
out.
day, yeah.
Well,
I really like this one, and it isn't because the guy I've been told the guy looks like me before. I actually just really like the format. I like the kind of comic bookness to it. I like it's kind of retro-y. I'd put this in great.
No, amazing. This is I'd say this is better than Brat.
No, I disagree.
I think this would be higher in the. I think they're both on the same level, but this would be. If I was asked which one do I prefer, I prefer.
I'd put Brat high amazing and this low amazing.
It's an amazing for both of us. Just stick it in there.
Next, In a Speaker, Tame Impala. Amazing.
Oh yeah. There's this amazing category. It's absolutely stacked right now, but I think it is. I think I've made this take before that Kevin has incredible album covers. I think all of them land in amazing.
Currents genuinely could be perfect. I think Currents.
Well, Lonerism's my favourite, but I'd still say that it's amazing. Maybe. But then I don't know, like when I think about it, like what's wrong with it? Why can't it be perfect?
Yeah. Fair.
But I think In a Speaker, like I love the sort of like the psychedelic sort of effects of the album cover. It perfectly matches the sounds of the album.
Yeah.
So
and that's
it's
very
absolutely
amazing.
And just it just looks nice. It's just nice to look at.
And on the topic of matching the sound and the attitude and everything about the music, Playboy Carti, Whole Lotta Red, I genuinely think this could go in perfect.
I'm surprised that's coming from you.
But that's the thing, I'm not a massive fan of the music. However, I can't possibly think of how you could make this album cover better, especially for the content. And it's just very good to look at.
I can hear that, but and as much as I way prefer the album to you, and I love the cover as well, when I'm looking at the other ones we have in Amazing, I don't think I put this above some of them. Like this is on the same level as like NFR to me, or an In a Speaker. I can't remember what else we've got in. Higher. What else have we got in Amazing?
So Amazing, we've got Nevermind the Bollocks, Straight Outta Compton, Brat, Norman fucking Rockwell, and In a Speaker.
Yeah, see, Straight Outta Compton is better for me.
I love the simple, what we were talking about before, the white, black, and red. I like that it's face on it. I like that it's framed in that way. I like the red and everything.
I really like the art that goes into it as well.
What we're doing then?
One thing for me as well is, as much as I love the cover, I've seen a lot of the other artwork, not necessarily alternate covers, but a lot of the other artwork that came around a similar time, which I actually think looked cooler and could have maybe made a slightly better album cover.
Okay.
So I'd argue for
amazing.
No, I was saying Amazing. So it's not actually a meet in the middle. You've budged for me here, so I'll budge for you.
Okay.
If there's a situation like that.
Next, Reverberation, Echo and the Bunnymen. This goes in bad.
Oh, thank God! I was gonna say, like, if you were gonna start hyping this one up, I was just gonna put my headphones down and leave. Yeah,
it looks like Smart was SpongeBob. It's very poor.
Because as much as I was saying before, there has to be sort of like no thought going into it. Mm-hmm. This is genuinely the same level as God did.
There is something. Echo and the Bunnymen. Genuinely, the better the album cover is, the better the album is.
Fair enough. I think it's just a coincidence that probably happens for a lot of artists, though.
Maybe.
I get your point, but I mean, like...
Next is A Magical Mystery Tour, The Beatles. You can talk first.
Not massive on this cover, I'm not going to lie. I'm not massive on it. The Beatles have some incredible album covers. You look at Abbey Road is literally one of the best of all time. If that was in here, that would go in perfect for me. That is literally probably the best album cover of all time. So, in my opinion...
That's a hot take.
I know it's a hot take, but I think Abbey Road is the best album cover of all time. However, Magical Mystery Tour...
I think...
It's so forgettable.
Colourful maximalism done correctly is Sgt. Pepper's.
I agree.
Magical Mystery Tour looks like a leaflet for a really bad magician that would be stuck up in a charity event or something. And it's designed by a graphic designer who's just done his GCSEs.
That is the most perfect description ever. We don't need to say anymore.
Where are we putting this? terrible or bad? It can't. I don't think it's quite terrible.
It's not terrible. Bad? It can go. It can go in bad. I don't know that it is. Is it on the same level as God did though? God did's my reference point for all of this.
God did.
Yeah, but it's early because it's DJ Khaled and it's funny.
Next, selected ambient works, AFX Twin.
This could be perfect.
I agree.
Because this is a simple but effective.
I'm just a simple and effective guy. That's my taste of the album covers.
I'm hit or miss with them because I think sometimes they can be simple but lack the effectiveness for my personal preference. This one, though, it's one of the most iconic album covers of all time. I don't know if in shot on Max's camera, but you've got your little...
It's not on there. No, it's only just...
Yeah,
just right.
Got a little badge up there. But like that artwork is seen everywhere. You see it on T-shirts. Mm-hmm. It is so iconic and it's so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. Agreed.
I think it's perfect.
So we've only got that and Dark Side in perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to throw around perfect too often.
No. Next, To Be Kind, Swans.
I mean, it's Swans, so it's. I don't know how.
They've definitely
serious.
got a very wide range of album covers.
Like, imagine putting this next to Filth.
Yeah.
That's a crazy contrast.
But see, Filth is an incredible album cover,
that's what
I think.
But I think this one. It's just a baby as far as I'm aware. I mean, there might be some more, I don't know if you know, but there might be some more like thought behind it and stuff, but...
Well, some of the singles like all had like different pitch, like weird looking, like... They had like a theme for a bit where it was like their album covers would be blank and then it'd be like a face or like an animal's face or like a mixture of it. It was like a weird thing. And I don't really
That's
know
why I'm a little bit forgiving because it is Swans and it kind of plays into their aesthetic, but I will say...
So you think this is just... What, you think this is mixed?
Well, it's the same thing that we sort of said for Diamond Dogs. I like kind of elements of it and sort of how out there it is.
I don't think it's not out there. It's just
no, but I mean, like it's just baby, but like it kind of speaks for that odd thing. Like it's just a baby on a cover. So I quite like that. However, is it nice? Or not nice to look at, but is it something that I'd kind of want on an album cover?
See, I think it's really. I
think it can go in okay.
I think
okay.
Yeah. Okay.
They have better covers like Filth, for example.
Yeah. Filth actually might be my favourite. If
probably not... same.
The Great Annihilator is cool, actually. That might be one of my favourites. Master of Puppets, Metallica. I've never liked Metallica's album covers.
Don't you think that... I mean, I don't know the thought and everything that goes into it, but like, if Minecraft came before this album, it would look like it was... inspired aesthetically by Minecraft. There's something about it that just seems Minecraft. I don't know why.
I don't see that.
Maybe it's just like
the boxy straight edges of the font. I don't really know.
It's the font and it's like the crosses. I don't know why, because there's not like Minecraft doesn't have much to do with the crosses. Every time I see this album cover, I might be on my own on this one.
Yeah,
I just get connotations of Minecraft.
I think it's we've got a lot in okay, but I do think it's okay, or maybe even mid.
No, I think it'll end up going in okay because I think it's a great cover.
I think even they've got better.
Yeah, but a lot of them kind of come under that.
The lightning one's cooler. That's better. Anyway, next we have appropriate 3 Imaginary Boys.
The pink top is coming in strong again.
This is one of my favourite album covers of all time.
Oh, really? Prime example of simple but effective. Mm-hmm. Where would you go?
Genuinely, this is going perfect for me.
Well, I know you're going to like it, but there's going to have to be some sort of...
reasoning. Well...
Okay.
A lamp, a fridge and a Hoover. 3 Imaginary Boys. I like the pink, clearly. I think it suits the music so much that kind of... And obviously, having a retro lamp, a retro fridge and a retro Hoover just like makes sense in there. And it's the songwriting as well. It's not very out there and otherworldly. It's very English. It's a very working class album. It's very. It just sounds like the album cover. It sounds like Fridges, Lamps, and Hoovers.
I know, but I at the same time, there's so many albums that, like Inner Speak, for example, it's the same sort of thing. It sounds like the album, and I just like the design anyway. Though I think it's very simple and very effective. See, even if we're going, if we're going the Cure's discography, Pornography is better, Disintegration's better.
Disagree. Pornography's a cool idea, I like the colour scheme, but in terms of like just execution, could definitely have been done a lot better.
I don't know. I kind of like it's like rough, and I just love the like the color scheme for that one, and I think that plays into the music as well. Like 100 Years sounds bang on that album cover.
Yeah, agreed.
So it's not even my favorite Cure one. I think it's a great cover. So
the Cure are very good for album covers, to be fair. Other than like the top,
I think we
the
can
top
meet
isn't a good album cover.
We can meet in the middle at Amazing, because I'd say it's great.
Very well. Next we have Donda.
Bad, if not the worst one on here. Terrible.
Should we do terrible just because stick it to the man?
Yeah, he deserves
terrible.
it at the moment.
Yeah.
But like,
let's not even give him much out.
I don't even know. Like, it's just a black screen. Like, it's not even an album cover.
Yeah.
It's just like your phone's turned off.
See, simplicity to that extent can be done tastefully. The Beatles' White Album.
Exactly. But it's kind of, because that's been done, now doing it almost for no reason.
Yeah.
It just doesn't come off. It just comes off as lazy. And that Donda did mark sort of the downfall of Kanye
And the thing
West.
is as well, picking an album cover like that is a very brave move, but genuinely, if the music backs it up, it makes it then cool.
No, Donda's not a bad album. Donda's a great album. It's just a little bit blurted. No,
but it's nowhere near good enough to back up having a blank album cover.
Well, I'm ranking the cover here regardless of the musical quality behind it.
Fair.
So I think it's a terrible cover regardless. But Donda is not a bad album.
I don't think it's good.
You need to revisit some of the songs. Life of the Party is genuinely one of the best. That's a top 10 Kanye song. And one of the best.
That's probably a hot take.
One of the best rap features of all time with 3 stars on there.
Let's move on. Let's not give him too much airtime.
Oh, bro.
Shush. Our final one. Kicking off, ending with a bang. Kicking off. We kicked off on the time ago. Hellfire, Black Midi.
This could go in perfect for me.
I think I might agree. Genuinely.
It speaks to the chaos of the album. I love the craziness. There's so much going on. This is probably one of your favourite, maybe maximalist designs as well.
Definitely. Because it's a maximal album. My main thing as well is a maximal album of a maximal album cover when the music doesn't match it. I only want a maximal album cover if it's a very maximal album in terms of the soundscapes.
I think it speaks for Black Midi and the album.
And it has to be done correctly.
Yeah.
At the same time.
I think this is perfect. Like, what are you going to knock off? Like,
I think the pink backdrop is perfect. I think having loads of different stuff. It's an adventure in itself.
Exactly.
I think it is perfect.
I think it's perfect. So what do we end with? I think 3 imperfects, don't we?
Yeah. So we've literally got Dark Side, Selected Ambient Works, and Hellfire imperfect.
I'm fine with them.
I'm fine with that. I put God Did with them though.
No, you know what? Like God Did is.
I also genuinely would put a whole lot of red in there.
That's fair enough. Like I can hear an argument for it. I just think when I look at
that's the best thing about Carti. Just that album cover.
No, he has great album covers all across the board. Like his album covers are strong. But I don't know. When I look at the ones in Amazing, I think a lot of red comes under that as well. My main thing for it is because I've seen other artwork at the time that I think could have been better.
See, I've not seen. You might have to show me some after this.
Yeah, I can do. Still an amazing cover though. But that brings us to the end. Thank you very much for watching. Bit of a different one today. We're ranking covers rather than the music itself. Let us know if you want to see some more music-related content like this in future. Hit that subscribe, like, comment. Let us know any other video ideas. Anything else to say, Max?
See you in the next one.
See ya.
Goodbye.